1 o'clock, 3-man front. We do have a man down. Pat Smith is not available for the second half, or for hour number 4 here on 3-man front as we were kicking the soccer ball through the hallway, and Pat took a very unfortunate carom.
You're going to need to check for bruising here in a second. You got to be careful.
He was not wearing all of his. They don't wear those, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, because it's happened a couple times in the World Cup and they go down.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think there's any.
He did not go down, but he was hunched over, and he's still trying to collect himself. So we'll give you an update on Pat Smith and his status as he is making a very awkward face right now. 205-834-9450. Conrad, as we converse, the big news is it has to do with not only the World Cup, FIFA, Team USA, Belgium. Now, the appeal of the appeal of the appeal, it's nothing about nothing. Flo Balogun is going to be able to play tonight for the United States.
Correct.
And people are crying foul.
Yeah, correct. People are mad. They hate the United States. They hate our president, and they hate American soccer. Basically, if you missed the news yesterday, you had the red card from the match against Bosnia. Last week, we didn't think Balogun was going to be able to play. Yesterday, FIFA reverses that decision, so they suspend the suspension, so he can play against Belgium tonight. Belgium very angry, so Belgium appeals the ruling.
They allow Belgium to appeal.
They allow Belgium to appeal the appeal, correct? And then today, FIFA says, "Well, we appreciate your appeal, but we're dismissing that." So Balogun will play tonight. Everything will be right in the world, except for the few Americans out there that hate our country and want Belgium to win,
and are
and think
openly
that
rooting for Belgium.
And if we win, there needs to be an asterisk next to it because we didn't deserve to win or we cheated. Basically,
that was what the ESPN writer put, right?
Correct. Yes, he does not think it's legitimate victory if we win tonight, despite the fact that, as we've discussed this morning, we played Belgium in a friendly 3 months ago and lost 5-2. So
I still can't get over the people that originally thought we got screwed on the call, but then the call is maintained. Now it gets reversed, and they think that everybody else is getting screwed.
Well, I feel
like they got it right.
They did, and as a number of commentators, we've talked about it, but the soccer experts have pointed out the right call was ultimately made. It shouldn't have been a red card in the first place. That was a mistake by the official. That was a bad call by him. However, on the Belgium side of things, you would have liked to have the decision reversed a couple of days ago so you could prepare to face Balogun, as opposed to finding out yesterday.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm preparing as if he was going to play. But that's just me going worst case scenario. And Pepe is a different player. And maybe then they're trying to counter what is Mauricio and how are they going to try to attack us if they didn't have Balogun? But
correct. Again, they faced us with him and beat us by 3 goals in a friendly.
Yes.
Prior to the World Cup. So
a lot of texts are coming in, 205-834-9450, on some pertaining to soccer, some with Motley's movie review of The Departed, and others. Let's see. By the way,
Pat, you okay?
Brandon is saying a shout out and get well soon to Pat and the boys.
Well, it was a very, very tough moment.
That was good.
Man.
Was that the one that was off the header that you took? You took directly off the header. Yeah, from the header.
Yeah,
from the header, off the header.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, it was no ricochet off.
Yeah,
from that. Yeah, it was just straight.
This next text reads: the official on the field did not even talk to Balogun after the foul. And an asterisk by a U.S. win tonight. Barry Bonds is in the record books, right?
And that's coming from it. We were just talking about this in the break room. So you got an ESPN writer, a soccer writer, who is saying that there should possibly be an asterisk put next to a U.S. win. Would not a U.S. win help his business? Like, if U.S. keeps winning, would that not help his clicks?
Integrity is more important, Pat.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, yeah, sure. And this did I miss the writer winning a Pulitzer Prize for his journalistic integrity?
He's about to. He's gonna. This is the one, Pat. This is the one.
This is going to put him in that upper echelon.
Yeah, he stood up to the president and American sports fans.
Landrum and I both know someone that supposedly won a Pulitzer, so let's just not even go there.
Yeah,
supposedly.
I'm so close.
Seems like an easy thing to prove.
This one reads, the trouble for me was watching soccer in the announcements. They seem to be from England or some foreign country, and it's difficult to understand. And the closed captions did not keep up with what they're saying. So by the time they're coming on, they're a minute down the road. Just makes it tough for me to watch since I don't understand soccer anyway. Jonathan says this is not an issue with the rule calling. This is all about Trump. People can't stand the guy or use anything to try to prove their point. Yeah, Jonathan, I think you're onto something there. Will says if USA gets an asterisk, then I motion for the Astros and Michigan to get the death penalty.
Amen.
For Pat, now you know why Mickey Mouse sounds the way he does.
Oh, my goodness. That was bad. It's been a long time since that happened. Back since I was coaching. Yeah, that was – I think Landrum did it on purpose.
That was one of those as a fellow man and as a competitor. You just walk over, you slap on the back and say, I'm sorry.
I think you did it on purpose.
Happens to the best of us.
Let's keep the Leonardo DiCaprio train going. Have her watch Shutter Island next. I've never seen Shutter Island.
Oh, that's such a good movie. See, I think that would be a great movie for something like this, but I know Molly doesn't like. It's not a horror movie, but there's enough. It's horror adjacent.
Is this Shutter Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great movie, but yeah, I don't know if that'd be a Molly movie.
That one's been recommended to me a lot, though, over the last couple of years.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Ken in Minnesota tell them to eat a bag of.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
I'm going to say it because the name that they spelled out is the name of one of our players.
Yeah, but who's the bag for?
Oh, I don't know. He said it can eat a bag of. To all of those haters, I guess.
Oh, I got you.
Colin's disappointed in Molly's rating of all-time favorite movie, The Departed.
Yeah, I figured I would get some of that. It's just not for me.
Has she seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes, I love that movie. It's been a couple years since I've seen it, but I love that movie.
The coach, to heck with Belgium and Georgia. Coach is a big Georgia Tech fan.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the country.
Oh, Georgia. That country. Are they competing? I think they are. All right, keep the text rolling in. Hopefully, most of you are going to watch it or not going to enact the asterisk. If in the unlikely event, just given history, that the United States wins tonight, because how long has it been? We've never beaten Belgium.
It's 2002 since we've made it to the quarterfinals, right? 2002?
Sounds right.
Be a big moment.
It would be. We'll keep it going. 205-834-9450, 800-239-WJOX.
So we were telling you that tomorrow will begin media days for major conferences. Tomorrow, the Big 12 will get together at the Frisco, right outside of Dallas, Texas. Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, UCF, Colorado, Houston, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. This used to be like a 3-day event, but now they have condensed it to just 2 days. But they're one of the conferences, for us in the SEC, we get to vote on the preseason prognostications, the all SEC team and all that towards the end of the media days. Well, they do it different there in the Big 12. They've already released their first team All Big 12. They've listed their offensive player of the year is running back for BYU, LJ Martin. He was voted as the Big 12 offensive player of the year. The defensive player of the year, no big surprise, defensive lineman AJ Holmes Jr. from Texas Tech. He was named the defensive player of the year. And this does not come as a shock to me and Landrum because we saw this guy up close. Drew Mestemaker, he has been named newcomer of the year in the Big 12 Conference. Better get used to his name. If you don't remember his name from the American Conference, this kid can spin it. He is just a redshirt sophomore at Oklahoma State.
Never started a varsity game.
He led FBS in passing yards last year. The entire country.
Yep, was backup high school.
Noah Fafita from Arizona, he was named the preseason All Big 12 quarterback for the conference.
Okay.
You had Cam Cook running back for West Virginia. We mentioned LJ Martin from BYU. Those are your top running backs. So just taking a look down the list of how the media voted, I assume that their rank or finish in the Big 12 conference will come out later today. That's typically before it all gets together officially tomorrow.
And Drew Mestemaker, still that story, never started a varsity high school game. You go to North Texas, you got to prove yourself there. Unlikely event, you get a shot, and then you go and perform. And then your coach lands the Oklahoma State job, and now you're Big 12 newcomer of the year. Transfer portal and NIL, it's not all bad.
No, it's awesome. And he's, if you pay attention to this kind of thing, he is projected to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft as well if he continues on. So
he is very
crazy
impressive.
story.
In person and on film, for sure.
Yeah, and then next week it really will get going because you will have 3 conferences have media days. You will have the Mountain West and the Sun Belt Conference and the ACC all mid next week.
Will Brian Kelly be doing hits for CBS from Mountain West?
I hope so.
Yes.
Good.
That would be
Need it.
That would be tremendous.
Get their money's worth out, old BK. What's he doing?
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
Yeah, get him out there. If you notice cracks in your walls, uneven floors, or moisture building up in your crawl space, don't wait until that small problem becomes a major expense. You need to contact the Foundation Moisture Protection experts there at Deep South Construction Pros. You need to go to their website, deepsouthconstructionpros.com. Deep South is a family-owned company with Alabama roots specializing in foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, and moisture control. Whether it's wood rot, mold, settling foundations, or water intrusion, their experienced crews can fix the problem at the source and protect your home for the long haul. Get started today. Go to their website, deepsouthconstructionpros.com. Deep South Construction Pros, your home, their commitment.
Pat's got questions. We try to answer those. A very special Pat Ponders on the way next on 3-Man Front. 117, three-man front here on this Monday. Appreciate all of your interaction. A lot of it having to do with United States taking on Belgium tonight. 7 o'clock, the local time kick. And our friends at the Finnick want to remind you that they're having a watch party there on at the Finnick with, of course, the projector screens, the video boards. But it's been a big time, and they're going to continue to do it as long as the United States team keeps rolling. So make your way into the Finnick. They'll have all kinds of specials, and you can go and cheer on your favorite group of Americans with your favorite fellow Americans. So I appreciate our friends at the Finnick. The game tonight in Seattle. How about this? Here's a little fun fact in case you're just now tuning in. Belgium, this is going to be their third time playing there in Seattle during this World Cup, and they're training where the Seattle Sounders typically train, and their base camp there in Renton, Washington, so not far away. Meanwhile, the U.S. team, they've been training there in Irvine, California. But, of course, they were able to knock off Australia there in Seattle. So it should be a good one tonight. Balogun is all go, all clear. So now it just means a W for the United States. We hope. 5 questions from Pat. We try to answer responsibly. This is what we call Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
All right, question number 1. We talked about it earlier. Mexico soccer fans set off fireworks and played loud music outside of the England team hotel at 2 a.m. ahead of their World Cup match between the two teams on Sunday. England had booked 15 different hotels, so Mexico fans would not be able to find out where they were. So it got me thinking, what's the most memorable example of gamesmanship you've seen in sports that made you laugh rather than make you get angry?
I was at a basketball game, and it was a college. It was small. It was D3, and there was a student section. And one guy in the student section who kind of led the student section, he had gone to the trouble of doing like Facebook stalking on the players and family members. And it was nothing that was nasty, but just catching them off guard by spouting out like their sister's name during a free throw, or maybe something specific that happened there to the sister or where he's from. It actually had an effect. It made the other team laugh. They thought it was funny.
Just creepy.
But yeah, a little bit creepy. Yeah. And they Xerox copies from the Facebook, some of the photos that were there on the person's page. And so you can imagine. That's one instance I can think of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that's not.
By the way, this was 2010, so it's not like everybody had everything just.
See, the first one that I can think of is, I think it's Iowa, actually. They have the, or maybe Michigan. It's one of the schools in the Big Ten. They have the pink
That's Iowa.
visiting locker room.
Iowa.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a good one. See, I just go back to like some of the stuff that we did when we were growing up, and we would try. I mean, sometimes you cross the line, but we would generally try not to cross the line. But we would go and other teams did it to us as well, whether it's basketball or baseball or stuff where you could hear the fans, and you'd find like personal information about you'd be like yelling out a player's like ex-girlfriend's name or their sister's name or something like that, where you're just like, you're not trying to say anything too crass, but just things like that where it's like you really put your homework into this. Like you have to respect, like you actually took the time to go and do your homework and find something to get under my skin that's not overly offensive. But we would do fun stuff like that growing up, and I was, you kind of just took it in stride because you would do it to them, they would do it back to you, and I always enjoyed that.
I'll never forget when Tebow in Florida was playing in Baton Rouge. The student section of LSU got Tebow's cell phone number. And so when Tebow scored touchdown, he literally ran up to the student section and did the telephone international signal for call me. Yeah.
Fire alarm at the team hotel. That's an oldie.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good one.
Now
Do you have the
criminal
jackets count?
charges.
Do we count that one?
Well, criminal charges could be filed in this case, but you've heard about food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Hotel staff that putting a little something extra in the eggs.
See, you don't want that. You don't want something that's interfere with their ability to compete. But
Question number 2. Speaking of that match last night, what's the college football equivalent of England having to play Mexico at the Azteca? I'll go first. To me, it would be the equivalent of, let's say, Texas playing North Dakota State at the Fargo Dome. That would be my example.
Okay.
Some type of blue blood, because that's England when it comes to soccer, and you're playing at a very rambunctious venue that you just wouldn't put them there unless FIFA and the World Cup made them play there.
Yeah, it was kind of like when USC was still in the Pac-10 or the Pac-12, and they would have one of those night games, whether it was in Pullman, Washington, or Corvallis, and you knew that those places, now not overly intimidating stadiums, but they would be electric, and that would be a tough game. Trying to think of one of those matchups. I just immediately thought when I saw the shots of the England team bus outside of that stadium, I thought Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. So just for that environment, but as far as I see what you're saying with the blue blood versus the kind of the Johnny come lately.
that's a good one. See that, and that was my first thought, and then my second thought after that with Tiger Stadium was, well, that's what LSU thinks Tiger Stadium is more often than it's not. But that's coming from the Alabama perspective.
Right.
I would go with something like when, and maybe it's just because this was recently in our mind and we were talking about how great the atmosphere is, but go back a couple years when like the Knicks were really bad, but you would have the Golden State Warriors when they would stack and they would go into MSG. And the Knicks probably knew, like, this is going to be really tough. This probably isn't going to work out for us. But the fanfare, because they wanted to show up and see the other team, but they were still going to give it to you. Even though they knew you're probably going to, take us out behind the woodshed and it's not going to be pretty, but we're going to make sure you remember us.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking of a bigger school going to like a much smaller school at home, and then that smaller school being juiced, like not that this would ever happen, but like a Notre Dame going to a Wyoming or something at Wyoming. That's what I thought of.
I wasn't thinking North Dakota State, but that's good.
Fargo Dome's a tough place to play.
Mm-hmm.
Blue blood like Texas, going there and playing. Or go up and play in the Kibbe Dome.
Yes.
Let Conrad make the trip out to Idaho for that game.
I've always wanted to go to Idaho.
England winning that match last night, that was the most impressive win I've seen so far. I didn't think they were going to be able to do it.
I still couldn't believe.
There.
No, I agree with that. But then, that the Team Mexico's kicking themselves today because they had that opportunity at the end of the game. They had like 5 players right there in the box, and I was like, "Oh, they're going to score right." And yeah, they're kicking themselves. It was very impressive, though.
All right, next question. Here's a what-if scenario for Kalen DeBoer. If he makes the college football playoff,
Yes.
the next 3 seasons,
Oh, yes.
but does not make the national championship game, does he get a year 4 in Tuscaloosa?
Yes. I'm just looking at where college football is going, where it could be in 4 years, and levels of expectations. Yeah, I think he's still the coach. If you're consistently getting your team to a college football playoff, even though you're not in the game, I think Greg Byrne and supporters be wise enough to understand that would be good in today's market.
3 years?
Makes it 3 years in a row, but does not play for a national championship in those 3 years. Gets to the playoff, but he does not play for the national championship. Does he get a year 4 in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, his buyout would still, and I wanted to look and see what his buyout would be. It'd still be $45 million at that point. Yeah, I don't think people want to hear this, but I think the reality of it is now, if you're consistently getting to a college football playoff and just with the parity of the sport, unless it was widely known that somebody like Kirby Smart was just begging for the job, that's not going to happen. Yeah, you're not. Who else are you going to get? Yes, he would still be there.
I think he would be too. Just given parity, SEC moving to a 9-game conference schedule, I think you might have a little bit more leeway in terms of that. But I think if he makes the playoff, then he would for each of those years.
I disagree with all three of you. I think
Really?
he's gone.
You think they'd pay the $45 million to get rid of him at that point?
Yep. Because the playoff will be expanded, and making the college football playoff will mean nothing. Zero. And
True.
if you're not playing for a national championship, that's why you got brought there. They will fire him.
What if you're making it to you're winning multiple games in the playoff every year?
That's a different beast. But I mean, if you're just getting to the college football playoff and then you get bounced out.
Well, yeah, I agree with if you're the 20th best
No,
team
if
3
you're-
years in a row and losing the
First
first
round
round,
out.
that's
One and
different than
Yeah.
that's a different scenario.
But he was
Yes.
brought there for a particular reason. And you get there in year 4, yeah, it's still a lot of money, but it's more than the 60+ million you got to pay him now.
Yeah.
I
The
think,
only other thing I was going to say is if you see an SEC team in that time that picks up dominance and all of a sudden they start rolling them off. Like if Georgia, let's just say they win a couple in a row, or Lane at LSU, then that probably ramps things up even further. I had thought about the expanded playoff scenario. I didn't enter that into the, but yeah, you're right. With 24, that definitely changes.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was
I'm
just
just going
assuming
in
for
on 12.
myself that he was still winning games in the playoff in those 3 years.
I was too.
Well, I assumed that he had won some games in the playoff. He just hadn't gotten to the biggest game.
all
Like
of a sudden
won
he's
couple
going
of-
to his 6th year and he's yet to play for a national championship. Nah, they will not. You want to talk about irrelevance? They will bounce him in a heartbeat. Because there won't be any more people to pay any NI. I mean, they won't have anything. So you got to get rid of him.
Is he going to be at the game tonight? There's a rumor that he was going to be there.
The Belgium game?
Mm-hmm. A U.S. game versus Belgium. But
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess him and his daughter could go if she's taking summer classes up there at UW, getting some softball training in.
All right, that is today's Pat Ponders as we get things started off on this Reaction Monday.
that is right. Lots of your reactions still to get to. 205-834-9450. And the worst thing I've seen as well. It's the Monday edition of 3-Man Front. We're so glad you're with us right here on Jocks. 134, three-man front. Landry, Pat, Conrad, and Molly. Text line is open. A lot of your interaction, 205-834-9450. Flo Balogun, he is available tonight for the United States. That becoming official with the official appeal of the appeal. Belgium, their appeal was shot down. So Flo is going to be able to go for the United States. They take on Belgium tonight, 7 o'clock there. The kickoff from Seattle, and should be a festive atmosphere. A lot of your texts coming in on that decision, whether it's just soccer in general, the game tonight, or the decision to let Flo Balogun play, as well as some other things. We take you there now, 205-834-9450. Paul in North Carolina chimes in, and he says, I don't like Trump, but have no issue with him calling to check on the process. Totally in bounds, and thankful that he did. The ruling to overturn came from an independent committee and was already in process. Glad he's playing tonight, cheering for the USA, and thankful for a president that I don't care for that did the right thing. Paul in North Carolina, thank you.
I appreciate people like Paul. You can see through both sides of things. So this is something that's been gaining traction apparently on social media now since the appeal of the appeal was denied, whatever. And Balogun will officially play for the United States tonight. If he scores a goal, which he is our leading goal scorer, so odds if we score, it's probably going to be him. Would he do the Trump dance as his celebration?
I'm trying to remember what the Trump dance is. Oh. I don't think he does, but maybe he does.
Social media would explode if it happened.
Yes.
But apparently, a lot of people are trying to get word to him that, hey, if you score a goal tonight, maybe this would be the way.
Is that a prop bet?
At this rate, it very well may be. You got what, 5.5 hours till first kick? Yeah.
Yep.
I could see it happening.
It's nice to hear you guys go from making fun of the World Cup soccer in opening week to now talking about it daily and getting into it. Also, any true American polling for Belgium after what President Trump said is an idiot, plain and simple.
That was a good save by you, Landrum.
Oh, I got it.
That was a good good
to.
interpretation. I'll be the first to say, right? I had no interest outside of watching USA. I had no interest in the World Cup. And honestly, a lot of it was you talking about how much you were enjoying watching the other countries play. And it was like, okay, you know what? I'll throw it on in the afternoon and just see what I do. And I have found myself every day.
Yeah, I'm
making
not
sure
forcing
I make
myself
time
to watch it.
No, I want to watch it.
No, I've found myself enjoying it.
My wife is not a fan of that.
U.S. was not playing well.
But because she's still like, God, it's so boring. And I'm like, I thought so too. And maybe it's because in past World Cups when I have checked it out every now and then, I feel like maybe I got burned watching a boring match. Yeah. And then it just kind of like, sours your taste for the sport. But I have genuinely really enjoyed watching the World Cup.
And apparently everyone else has too, because the ratings are through the roof.
It's been fantastic.
Someone adding there were 5 other players who were supposed to be suspended in the first round of the Cup playoffs, including Ronaldo, who was suspended for 3 games. And even every one of those suspensions were lifted. The only difference was USA suspension was from a Cup match where the others were carryover suspensions.
That is correct. Yes. He's not the only one that is. And I guess that's somewhat commonplace in international soccer to have. But I mean, it's just like if you get suspended in Major League Baseball, now a lot of times they don't win, but right, they appeal the suspension. That happens with every suspension, just about.
This one rolls in. Trump is yours and my president, like it or not. Cook chiming in. To me, it's crazy to blame the ref of the match about the call when he originally didn't make a call at all. It's obvious the people to actually blame for the controversy are the ones who called down to have the call made. Glad the call got overturned. Yeah, we are too. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean that one up. 205-834-9450. Keep the text rolling in. The worst thing that Conrad has seen. We will do it next right here, the Monday edition of Three Man Front.
Look, 144. Don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock. That will be the kickoff between Belgium and the United States in the round of 16 in Seattle, Washington. If you got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, you need to call Golston Tree Service. Call them today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals. Fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until that next storm causes damage. Call Golston Tree Service, 24-hour emergency tree service, 205-337-4443.
Well, every single day we see good. Unfortunately, we see bad. Conrad has seen something bad. This is the worst thing that Conrad has seen.
This is the worst thing I've seen.
Been in quarantine and I need to get out and party. Woo! What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, it can't be better than that. Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
All right, for the worst thing I've seen, we're going to go out to Southern California and the Newport Beach area. I'm sure many people familiar
Yes.
with that area.
It's lovely.
Of our lovely country. And so over the weekend at a July 4th celebration, shocker, there was some mischief afoot. Maybe not mischief. Maybe not mischief. Maybe just people being a little too enthusiastic about the celebration over the 250th birthday of our nation. So this report comes from the Balboa Peninsula portion of Newport Beach, where their July 4th celebration drew thousands of people to the peninsula when it erupted in chaos on Saturday evening as fights broke out. Fireworks were hurled at police officers, and over 400 individuals were later on arrested on Saturday night. So according to the report, young adults and minors threw explosive mortars, fireworks, and other projectiles at crowds, and law enforcement blocked off roadways and restricted access for emergency vehicles, according to authorities with Newport Beach. A police officer who was struck by a mortar was actually treated at the scene for some minor injuries. You can go and find the videos on social media if you want to see a visual representation of some of the chaos going on here. But one video shows police on horseback charging into a crowd on the beach to break up the unruly revelers. Some people threw punches at other partygoers, and a nearby supermarket on West Balboa Boulevard was ransacked in all of the chaos. So according to a videographer with the county news service, he reported, quote, "The situation escalated and police issued a 999, which is an officer needing help call, prompting at least 100 different law enforcement officers from surrounding agencies to converge on the Balboa Peninsula. Some 17 law enforcement agencies assisted 350 Newport Beach officers, according to city officials, and between midnight on July 3rd and 6 a.m. on July the 5th, 402 arrests were made. An unlawful assembly was declared Saturday around 8:30, and residents were even asked to shelter in place during all of the chaos. And what's to blame for all of it, Landrum? According to the Newport Beach Police Association, it was an alleged TikTok takeover that was then spread to other social media platforms over the course of the weekend.
Chinese trying to ruin our day.
Yes, that seems to be the only conclusion that we could draw there. So according to, thanks TikTok, 402 kids were arrested. That's insane. I hope that, is there jail big enough for that? Seems like a lot of people. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork.
It's done. That's a tough call to go to, is when you've got all of those people, but it's a lot of young people, and they're all armed with fireworks.
Yes. Yes.
Can make it, especially, I bet there were some buzz kills going on that beach when those strapped to the nines riding on a horse police officers, the mounted officers, came running onto the beach. You think that was a, you know what, I'm not drunk anymore. Whoa, this just got real.
Yeah, I think I'd be getting out of there at that point. I think that would be enough for me.
Think about the resources. How many officers had to respond?
It was 350 Newport Beach officers and then 17 different law enforcement agencies on top of that. So I mean, hundreds. I would guess probably 500 plus law enforcement officials on the scene for that. So according to a report by the Newport Beach Police Department on Sunday, they shared, quote, late in the evening, social media posts drew a large influx of juveniles and young adults to the Newport Pier area within a matter of minutes. As the crowd quickly grew into the thousands, dangerous and unlawful behavior escalated, blocking roadways, preventing emergency access, and putting families, visitors, and first responders at risk. So according to the authorities, the residents began closing down the beachfront area starting Saturday at 3 p.m., which then caused people to flood to the piers, which led to a large part of the issue here.
Well, it sounds like Newport Beach are going to have to do something like a lot of these other cities and municipalities have done around the country, where a young group of people come in, and we were all that age, and a lot of times we had nothing good as our intentions, and they don't allow it anymore. Here in this state, you got popular places on the Alabama Gulf Coast where that's not even don't even start the conversation.
No, it can definitely be problematic. And okay, so this is a much tamer version, not even comparable to what we just talked about in Newport Beach. But I think I shared this with Pat before, and I wanted to get your thoughts and the listeners' thoughts on this, because I don't know if I'm just becoming an old grumpy man because I now own a house and I'm 30 and I'm just not fun anymore.
The answer to that is yes. You are still fun, but you are getting grumpier.
Yes. Thank you. So I have no problem. Like on Saturday nights, you want to go and blast fireworks, have at it. 4th of July, go have a party. I don't have a problem with that at all. People in our neighborhood were lighting fireworks off at 2 a.m. I guess that would have been Sunday morning at that point. I don't have a problem with that. It's the 4th of July. Last night in my neighborhood, people are launching the big fireworks, not like the little bottle rockets, like the big ones that you would see in a fireworks show.
The artillery shells.
At 10:30 last night on a Sunday.
No.
Okay, so I'm not in the wrong for being really annoyed by that.
No.
I thought that was a little over the top.
No, I'm with you.
Even if you want to, go out at lunchtime on Sunday during the day and you have some left, go for it. But 10:30 on Sunday night,
we can't carry this into the next week.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm a lot of us got to go to work. I have to be up at 5 a.m. to be up here. A lot of people have to go to work. 10:30 on Sunday night seems a little excessive to still be launching the big boy fireworks.
No, I agree. How much work got done in England on Monday with all of those soccer fans celebrating and drinking pints at 4 a.m. as England knocked off Mexico?
None.
Oh, hopefully.
Well, who was the country? One of the countries that won last week, didn't they declare everybody got off work the next day? I forgot what country it was.
I believe, yep.
But they won a World Cup match, and the president or
Cape
prime
Verde.
minister. Yeah, it might have been that. Nobody had to work. It was a holiday.
That's a good call.
Maybe England did that.
Maybe we'll do it if we win. We have a holiday just in the future to observe the significance of what this is going to mean for our nation's.
Well, if we win
soccer
tonight,
history.
you make July 6th a holiday, and then you just rope it into the whole July 4th celebration, and everybody just gets 4 days off.
Yeah. All right, what's the line looking like, Pat? Has it changed at all?
Yeah, it's actually gone down more towards Belgium.
Okay.
It's down now to minus 128. It was up to 137, 140 for U.S. It has dropped now to 128. Game is still technically a pick 'em. USA would be minus 120 if they win in regulation time. Belgium plus 104.
So are y'all ready to show your prediction?
Yeah, USA 2-1.
Okay, that's different than what you said at the beginning of the show. What about you?
That's
Andrew?
not what I said at the beginning of the show. I never said a score.
No, but you said we were going to lose.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
We didn't say that.
Nobody said that.
We said that people thought we were going to lose. We didn't think we were going to lose.
Oh, okay.
No.
What's your prediction?
Hater. I will go. You're going 2-1, Pat. I'm going to go
3-0.
3-1.
Wow. That would be fantastic.
Belgium. No, I'm kidding. United States.
Yeah, it's going to hurt too?
Yeah. What you
I'm
got?
going 2-0 USA.
Shutout.
I like that.
They don't even score on us.
They don't even get across
They don't
midfield.
even sniff. Yeah, it's great.
I think we're going to win on PKs.
Ooh, we're going to PKs?
I want the drama.
I'm going to need some
I
of that
don't.
It'll be 1-1.
Belgium Imodium.
It'll be 1-1 after 120 minutes. We'll go to PKs and we're going to win. And Balogun, he's going to be the one to get it done.
Okay. No French fries tonight.
No French fries, no waffles.
Tater tots if you got to have something.
No, what else do we have? No Smurfs. No internet.
Belgium, that's the Smurfs?
Yeah, they apparently created the Smurfs.
Did they
The
really?
blue people. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Never been a fan.
Gargamel, he strikes me as a little bit Belgiumese. What'd you say, Belgianese?
Yeah, that's what I called them.
Yeah. A lot of your texts coming in. Some we could read, some we could not. We read them all. We could not read them on the air. Someone mentioning, I'm surprised Landrum hasn't mentioned the Braves' near comeback in the 9th inning yesterday and Michael Harris's rob job, not making the All-Star roster. Yeah, I'm upset about that. Yeah,
You got 5 players on the Major League Baseball All-Star game roster, and you're griping about one more?
Yeah.
You also had the worst baseball team in the month of June.
Yeah, we did.
So, I mean, it's like, really?
Yeah. And that's what happens when you give up, 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and you were already trailing.
Here's the real question. How happy were you that Rob Manfred gave Bryce Harper an honorary selection for the All-Star game?
Because he got robbed last year.
Commissioner Manfred.
He's playing at home.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Plenty to talk about tomorrow. We're going to be live at Social Taco in Homewood. Make your plans to be there as we broadcast 10 until 2. A lot on U.S. Belgium. Hopefully, we're talking about a historic U.S. win, and they can keep things rolling in this World Cup. For Conrad, Molly, and Pat, I'm Landrum. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Go USA. God is great.